Are your students struggling in math no matter how much on grade level content you throw at them? Here's the big secret. You can't close learning gaps with on grade level lessons alone. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why and show you what actually works to help your students quickly catch up and succeed in math. If you're solely focusing on your on grade level lessons to grow your students or for them to hit their middle of the year targets and end of the year targets, you're actually setting your students up for failure as well as yourself because learning gaps exist because the students are missing those other grade level skills to help them master and be successful with on grade level content. When learning gaps are not addressed properly, then they get larger from year to year. For example, my 10th graders were still struggling with third and fourth grade level concepts that was prohibiting them from learning the Algebra 1 content, which had a lot of different math skills that they needed to even use the graphing calculator. One thing that will help you to close these learning gaps is to use the vertical alignment. The vertical alignment are skills that are needed to master certain concepts. In my Math Intervention Academy, I teach the teachers to use the vertical alignment for those common misconceptions that students have, such as fractions, decimals, and place value. These are common misconceptions that students struggle with because those skills they're never addressed. Learning progressions are also a great way to help close learning gaps. If you're not familiar with learning progressions, you can check out the video on my YouTube channel. But a learning progression will show you what mastery looks like at that grade level and what is being used to actually teach that concept so that students can quickly get on grade level and master their current grade placement standard. So, to address any learning gap, you have to know where to begin. And that's where the math intervention cycle comes in. This is a 4-step process that I created based on my 26 years of teaching in underserved communities. The first step is to assess, second step, diagnose, third step, reteach, and the last step is to reassess. Notice that this cycle begins and ends with data. You first assess where the students are and then reassess to see if there was any progress made. And we're not talking about these whole comprehensive assessments with 20 questions. We're talking about 4 to 5 questions max to see if the students can independently, after interventions have been given, to see if students have shown any growth. This is where those learning gaps are closed using that vertical alignment content and this math intervention cycle. If you want to design an effective math intervention program, you must have a tier one system that's in place that addresses all those needs before you can implement a tier two system, which is where your math intervention comes in along with small group instruction. Your tier one instruction must address those issues because it weeds out students who mistakenly get placed in math intervention when the supports or scaffolds are not available or implemented effectively in their core content instruction. This oftentimes happens a lot in underserved communities. For example, when I taught at a school that was slated to be taken over by the state, they had a lot of students who were not tier 2 students. They were tier 1 students or on grade level students because it wasn't that they could not get the concepts or there were learning gaps. It's because they either had ineffective strategies or they weren't taught the instruction. So, in order to address learning gaps, that tier 1 instruction must be strong so that the students who actually need the math intervention can get the help that they need. So yesterday I had a teacher message me on my website asking how could she get on my email list because one of her coworkers had recommended my email list to her. And if you're watching this, you're probably wondering what is she sending out on her email list? Each week I send out weekly tips, I send out videos, sometimes I send out templates that can be used in your classroom because my goal is to help and support you with tips that can be implemented in your classroom as early as the next day. So if you're interested in getting on my email list, you can check out the link in the description of this video. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you in my next video.